Hello, welcome to my page Schwinn Addiction. Today we're going to be talking about Schwinn Tubular rims and the differences between, there's a whole bunch of them. You got S2s, S7s, S5, and S6. And then you got another little off rim. But right here, I have before you is an S7. This is a 20-inch. Probably off of a Fair Lady or a front rim of a Stingray. And right here I have a 36 spoke off of a Scrambler 20-inch. And if you line these up side by side, you can tell there's a slight difference in size. These are both 20-inch, but the S7 is a little bit bigger, which is why you cannot fit a S7 tire on an S2 or S2 tire on an S7 rim. So I'm going to be showing you the difference. There's an old school, it was 1950s skip to S2. This one, let's see it. You can barely see the S2 right there. It was powder coated, so it's all, this one's all destroyed. But it's you can see a Schwinn Tubular right in the center. There's your S2 right there. It's a 20-inch. Right here I got a hoop off of this is off an exercise bike, but I noticed that these are a lot thinner. These are about the same width of an S7 but the size of an S2. Line them up side by side. It's the same size, but they're thinner. Just as thin as the S2, S7. Compared. See that? These are both S2s. Same height. These are both S2s. This is just off an exercise bike. These S2s you get off exercise bike, they're a lot thinner. Which is probably they probably use the S7 forge and just made it a little bit bigger. All you gotta do is add a little bit more material and it makes it bigger. Because all S2s are the same width, whether from 20-inch or 16-inch all the way up to 26-inch. They're the same width. Here's this is the width of a S2. That's a 20-inch and this is a 26-inch. That's a bit right there. It's just barely, it's about the same size. Just barely. That's just barely a little bit bigger. But that's a 50s and this is a newer one. So let's see. No, okay, so the newer S2s are a little bit wider, just barely. That's about the same. That's about the same. So the new S2s are a little bit wider than the old S2s, just barely, not too much. You can see. And this is the one. This is the one up the. You can see how much wider it is. This is an S2. And this is your S2 right here, or S7 right here. You can see how much wider it is. It's the same as that. So all the new S2s are the same size. And here I have a diagram. And the reason they call them balloon, or they call it Schwinn Tubular, is because it's pretty much a tube. It's pretty much a tube that goes around. It goes around. You put a tube in and it has like a die that's this shape, and then they roll a tube through it, and it presses it down. So you'll see it's like a double layer. That's because it's pretty much a tube that they put in, and they're all the same. They're cut out. These are cutouts. This is S2 is about 1 9/16 wide. S3, this is your tire size that you can put on the S2. You can put 2 and 1/25. You can put 1.75, but it's just a little bit thinner than the 2.125. You can put a 3-inch. Like if you had a wider tire, if you had a 3-inch tire, you could put a 2 and 1/25 all the way down to 1/75. But and this is the same for a 20-inch, 24, 26-inch, and a 16-inch rim. So it's from 16 all the way up to 26-inch. They're the same width, just a different diameter. And then you got your S6, which is 1 3/8 tire size, different from a 1 3/4. And the S6 and the S5, you can use it, are the same tire size. You can use the same tire. The only difference is it has this little hump. This is a lightweight and Hendrick, and it's just flat and it's thin. And this is what that is right here. This is real thin. This is a Schwinn. I got this off of a 3-wheeler. It's a 24-inch 3-wheeler. It's real thin, like a 10-speed. It's real flat. It has the knurls. And these are, when I say knurls, these are what they're talking about. The S2s, they had a double knurl, and on 1 year, in 71, like with the Great Ghost, they had a single knurl. So it's just a single knurl like this. I mean, but pretty much the majority of all S2s, they have double knurl. Like this one, the painted ones, they didn't have knurls, so it can't really see. This S7, it has a single knurl. This S2, it barely has a light knurl, a double light knurl. You can barely see it. Here's S7, has a double knurl. Here's a Cruiser S2, has a double knurl. Barely light. It's not really defined. See, you can barely see it. The double knurl. And then the smaller, the thinner ones, they only have a single knurl. So S7, S2 are the only ones that have a double knurl. So if it has a double knurl, you know it's a S2. It's a wider hoop. And the S7 is a little bit thinner for the front tire. Usually on the front tires of a Stingray or front and back on a Fair Lady at a girl's bike. These ones probably came on like a 10-speed. This is a fastback. Fastback had this little hump. 10 speeds had this one. This one came on the 3-wheeler. That's this one right here. Let's see. And then center stamp. When I talk about center stamp, you'll hear people talk about center stamps. So that started like from 1946 to 1964. This is like a 50s, and this is a center stamp. I showed you earlier. It's kind of hard to see. I can't see it now. But this one's a center stamp. It's right in the middle. see a center stamp? That's a center stamp. So this is the 50s. And this is what they call a side stamp. It's on the side, not in the knurl, in the center. And then there's a look-through stamp. It's the same. It's like this, but it'll be on this side. But it's the bottom. It reads exactly like this. So it'll say like something like this. So you got your center stamp, and then your look-through stamp, which is on the top part of the hoop, and then you got your side stamp, which is on the bottom part of the hoop. So it's called look-through because you're looking through the spokes to see it. Otherwise, like if this can be looked through because it goes the other way around. If it goes the other way around, it'd be upside down. But it's, and then this will be upside down too. So all windy out here. So this is your look through. It's on the top part of the hoop. Side stamp. That's from the look through was a 65, 1 year only. I think I had one. I had a couple. They're 1 year only for 65. 66 through 83, the rest of them were all side stamp. And then let's see. And if you ever lace your spokes, you know, you can tell the spoke goes to this side and the spoke goes to that side. Let's see, S5, S6 were the same tire size, so these two are interchangeable. They're only 26 had 36 holes, 24 had 28. There are some 24s with 36 holes or spokes. So 24 had both 36 and 28. 20 inch had 28, but you could find some 20 inches with 36 holes, which were the early Stingrays. The early Stingray S2 rear tire had 36 holes, or spokes. And they used them from 63 to early 64. The front cycle truck rim has a 36 hole hoop. The Scrambler 36, which is this one right there. It's in the name, so they have 36 spoke. And then the Runabout and the Midget, they both had an S2 16-inch rim. And the S7, or 16-inch, the S7 had 24 holes, and for the S2, they had 28 holes. So the S2 was on the back, and you could put a like a blue band two-speed blue band hub on it, a Bendix. So it had 28 holes, and that's about it. So this is my diagram. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. This is how I go about identifying hoops and the different types. I drew this all out real quick. And there you have it, different hoops. Schwinn tubulars. You know why it's called tubular? Because it's pretty much made out of a tube. They get a tube and they smash it in. They run it through a press die to make that shape. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, see you later.